my background is conservation and wildlife ecology, and I've learned through my research that you can have an ant can drive an entire system. Like an ant can be the deciding factor if a tree grows to 30 years, 40 years, whether that ant is there or not. So these are very small creatures that have a huge impact on a large scale. And that's kind of how I see, as an individual, our role in this planet is if we, and I talk about this to all my students, is if you look at problems at a global scale, it's very easy to become discouraged because you have this mentality of, well, as one person in Glenville, what am I going to do? Like, what impact is there really going to have? But if, you have one person in Glenville, then two people, then three people, and then someone, in Weston, and then another group in Charleston, eventually you have these small networks that eventually connect, right? And all those small connections then become a large connection. And in terms of, living a sustainable life and having these principles, is if each individual recycles just a little bit, that's still a small amount, but that small amount eventually leads to a big impact. So if we look at the average American individual generates 4.4 pounds of trash per day. Of that 4.4 pounds of trash, about half of it is recyclable. So we can then reduce in a day, one person, 2 pounds going into a landfill and then 2 pounds going into the recycling bin. And even with the recycling issues at a global scale with where is it going, if even 10% of that recyclable material doesn't end up in a landfill, that's still 10% not in a landfill, right? So even if it's not 100%, it's still better than nothing is how I view things. So, and it all starts at the individual level. And people want to recycle because it makes you feel good. It makes you like, oh, I'm doing something. It might not be much, but I'm doing something. And people don't recycle because it's not convenient. You make it convenient, people will do it because it's easy. You have two bins, throw one in the recycling bin, one in the waste bin. So if it's convenient, they'll do it. And that's what we're trying to do is make it convenient for individuals and then letting them know that that convenient decision they made is actually moving forward in terms of where it's ending up is having an impact. In terms of recycling, these bins do get used. I teach a waste management course, and I guess it would be a year ago, we did a waste audit where we went around campus and we looked at all the bins on campus to see if people were actually using them for recycling. And anything that said recycling was actually full of recyclables, not trash. So, students, faculty are recycling and they want to recycle. And now we just need to provide, that the end stream of it to make sure that it's ending up in the recycling bins and not the dumpsters.